What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and wow, some actual Flyers news. Over the past week or so, there's been a lot of more news spiraling, even more with rookie camp opening last week, the rookie game last night, and now training camp starting to get underway tomorrow. So, in the beginning of the week, it's really been Chuck Fletcher's main goal to get his top two RFAs signed and locked up before training camp started. And those top two RFAs being Travis Konecny and Ivan Provorov. And he got one of them done tonight. Got done maybe like an hour and a half ago. He linked up Ivan Provorov to a 6-year deal worth $6.75 million a season, which in total I think is 40.5. And just off the bat, I love the contract. Love the length, love the term. And you don't have to deal with that bridge deal with like 3 or 4 years where you don't have to worry about going through this whole RFA negotiations again. You have him long term. You got him for 6 years. You got him at a really good cap hit. And just the cap's going to keep going and going up. And maybe in a few years, if Provorov can really light the lamp up and excel his game even further, this contract can possibly be a steal in say like 2 to 3 years, 2 to 4 years. This contract could possibly be a steal at the price that Chuck Fletcher got Ivan Provorov for. And also with the news with Zach Werenski last week signing to that 3-year, $15 million deal, I think that really set the bar and helped out these contract negotiations, because there's really been rumors that saying Provorov was going to sign to either possibly a 3-year bridge deal or around like a 5 to 6 year deal. And we got the 5 to 6 year deal, got that 6-year length. I honestly prefer that over the bridge deal, since we don't have to go over the stupid RFA negotiations again, just because this whole RFA class has been nothing but nonsense. Just no one wants to pull the trigger, and Zach Werenski was really the first one to do it. So that's really setting the bar for the rest of the defensemen RFAs in this class to get their contract signed. So Werenski gets his signed. I think Morrissey from the Winnipeg Jets, he got signed to like an 8-year, $50-something million contract, and now Provorov signed up. And then Boston's probably going to get Charlie McAvoy signed up too. So really, I think this Werenski deal and the Provorov deal could be the starting points for a guy like McAvoy. So it's a really good contract for the Philadelphia Flyers. Like I said, just say like if Provorov does excel his game in the next few years, this contract's going to be a steal. Just like imagine, he's making around $4 million less than Erik Karlsson, around $4-something million less than Drew Doughty. And what if he gets up to that level, to those guys, to where those guys are? The contract could possibly be a steal. Oh, sorry for hitting the mic a little bit there. And it's funny too. Got the new mic, so better audio. And yeah, just I love this contract a lot. I think it's a really good term for the Flyers. It's a really good cap hit, and yeah, there's really no complaints right there. And Ivan Provorov in his first 2 years was a really good defenseman for us. He eats up a lot of minutes. He averages around like 22 to 25 minutes per game. And his minutes are just going to keep going up. He is our number one defenseman. And he's getting paid like a number one defenseman right now. So I would say he deserves the money. Yeah, even though there's the argument he did kind of suck last year. But you could say the same thing for the majority of the team. He was one of the players that sucked, along with a lot of other players that sucked last season. Flyers just overall last season just weren't that good. A lot of players weren't playing up to expectations, and Ivan Provorov happened to be one of those guys. But I believe Ivan Provorov, he wants to be here. He wants to play for the Philadelphia Flyers, and I think now that he doesn't have to worry about the contract and negotiations hanging over his head, I feel like he can get back to focusing on his game and focusing on being the top defenseman for the Philadelphia Flyers. I believe he can excel his game. Maybe get to that Norris Trophy type caliber player. Who knows? Maybe that will happen. We'll see in the next few years. Not going to go put that stretch, but I think Ivan Provorov is a stud in this league. I think he can become a very elite defenseman. And so, this contract, I love it. Love the term. Love the length. But let's get to Travis Konecny a little bit. The guy's kind of holding out a little bit. I don't know what's up with Travis Konecny and his contract negotiations right now. I know it's been Chuck Fletcher's goal to get both of these guys signed, but as they kept saying we were getting closer and closer to a Provorov deal, there really hasn't been good communication between the Flyers and Konecny with his GM, well, with his agent actually. There just really hasn't been any good negotiations going on so far. And there's been rumors spiraling up that saying the Flyers have the argument that they don't want to give Konechny, I guess, the money or the money he wants, just because he only averages around like 15 minutes per game. But Konechny's argument, he's been one of the more productive guys on the team since he's been in the league. I think there's an interesting stat too. Over the past 2 years, I think he's tied with someone like Crosby for 5-on-5 goals with like 50 something. And I think Konechny has a pretty good argument right there. The Flyers side, I don't think minutes should matter in this contract negotiation. Konechny has proven, even under a coach like Dave Hackstall, who just constantly flip-flops him throughout the lineup, constantly does not give him the consistent time on ice, he still manages to be productive. He was very consistent the past 2 years, averaging around the same amount of points, got more goals last year. The dude can score. He just doesn't get consistent time. And the Flyers' negotiation with the 15 minutes average ice time for not giving him what he wants, I don't think that's a good argument. And that's something that leads to a holdout. And I just really hope Konechny does not hold out. I really hope he doesn't turn into a guy like Mitch Marner, who's most likely going to hold out into training camp. Guys like Patrick Laine, guys like Braden Point possibly, Kyle Connor. I don't want Konechny to end up being with one of these guys that holds out for an extended period of time. I know Konechny definitely does not want to hold out. He definitely wants to start training camp on time. So I'm assuming Chuck Fletcher's going to work hard into the night to get a negotiation, get a contract settled with Travis Konechny, hopefully by tomorrow, because yes, training camp does start tomorrow. So hopefully we can get a contract settled by then. Would be nice. And yeah, just don't want Konechny ending up being someone like the Mitch Marners, the Braden Points, the Laines, the Connors. Don't want him to be something like that. Because now you got all these rumors spiraling around with there's a possibility that someone can either offer sheet Laine and Connor, or there's a possibility for Laine to be traded. There's been a ton of rumors that Laine could possibly be traded from Winnipeg. It's just, I don't want Konechny's just getting involved in these rumors. I want the kid signed. I want him locked up. And I want him to start training camp on time. I don't want to hold out with this kid. I just don't want it because the kid Konechny has shown he could be productive. The Flyers negotiation just isn't the right side of the argument. Konechny's is more of the right side of the argument because he's proven he can be productive even with the few minutes he gets, the 15 minutes. He still has proven he can be very productive. And I think if he can get consistent minutes on the top line, being on a top line an entire season, maybe his point totals will go up. Maybe his goal totals will go up. Who knows? Maybe putting a guy that can score on the top line for a consistent period of time, maybe his numbers will go up. I don't know, just a theory. So, without further ado, what are your guys' thoughts on the Provorov contract? What are your thoughts on his signing? What do you like about the year? What do you like about the money? Or do you just not like it in general? Are you one of those Flyers fans that just complains about everything? Hey, let me know. And what are your thoughts on the Konechny negotiations that are going on right now? I don't know why I can't talk right now. But, yeah, what are your thoughts on this Travis Konechny? Do you think he could be signed as early as the weekend? Or do you think we possibly have a holdout with Travis Konechny? So, don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video.